Congratulations on your new lease with Legacy Management. Let's go over a few things before you sign. Okay, all right. We are signing your lease today. It is not on the 1st, it is the 5th of the month, so your rent has been prorated. But from this moment on, your rent is due on the 1st. It's late on the 2nd. As a courtesy, we do not charge a late fee until after the 5th. But just so we're clear, your rent is due on the 1st. It is late on the 2nd. And as a courtesy, we do not charge a late fee until after the 5th. Okay, we've already talked about your security deposit, the different forms of payments. Let's talk about that late fee. The late fee is in the lease, and your lease actually says that your late fee is 10% of your rent. Okay. You have the right to quiet enjoyment. Quiet enjoyment means I cannot walk into your home, the owner of the property cannot walk into your home without letting you know. We usually try to give you at least 24-hour notice before inspections. If there is an emergency, on the other hand, if there's water coming from your unit, or if there's water coming from upstairs, we are going to come into the property, which leaves me the keys. We need keys to your unit. You are not allowed to change locks on your unit. It doesn't matter if you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend break up and you decide to change the locks. If you change the locks without discussing it with us, you will be charged to change the locks back. If there's a problem with your locks and you get locked out, you can give us a call. There is a charge. Okay, so we're all on the same page. You cannot change the locks without discussing it with us. Okay, use of the premises. Your lease. You cannot run a business out of your home. You'd be surprised how many people want to do that. I pulled up one day and someone was actually washing cars in their front yard. Okay, the landlord paid for water. So, no, you cannot run a business out of your home without letting the owner know. And they can say yay or they can say no. Okay, so that's use of premises. It's just to live in. Number of occupants. It says here you have 4 occupants, which is fine with the number of bedrooms that you have. If we come into the property and there are more than 4 occupants, we will be asking questions. If we're noticing that more than 4 occupants are sleeping in your home, there's going to be a problem. So 4 occupants, it's on your lease. We're all good. All right. We will do an inspection of the property to make sure that all conditions are safe and to your satisfaction. I will be giving you an inspection list. You have 2 weeks to fill it out because you're not going to notice everything right away. Anything that needs to be repaired, you need to let us know as soon as possible. Okay, let's see. All right, we've already talked about keys. We've already talked about locks. We've already talked about lockouts. Parking is, we've already talked about parking, so you know exactly where you can and cannot park. Let's talk about alterations. Okay, you are not allowed to do anything that changes the aesthetics of the property that is not reversible. I've had residents put up wallpaper. As long as it's the peel and stick, you're fine. It is not okay to paint the whole apartment black. If you paint the apartment a whole nother color, you're going to be responsible for returning it back to the original state. So that's up to you. Most likely, we're not going to trust your friends and family to do that. We will hire an experienced painter, and that's going to cost you. Okay. Any damages that are done to the premises that are not fixed before you leave, you are responsible for, and we will be taking it out of your security deposit. But I think we've already gone over that. Dangerous materials. You are not allowed to store anything that is flammable inside of your home. Propane tanks, oxygen tanks, if they're not for the use of someone in the property. So just keep that in mind. It's flammable. It can explode. We don't want it in the unit. Okay, utilities. We've talked about the utilities that you are responsible for. And once again, we're going to talk about inspections. I do them quarterly. I check in smoke detectors. I check filters. I'm making sure that no one is taking down that smoke detector, because around Christmas and Thanksgiving is usually around the time that they start pulling them out of the wall. They're there for a reason. If you're giving off a lot of smoke, open up a window. We ask that you not alter the smoke detectors. They're there to protect you and all your family members. If somebody's smoking upstairs in the bedroom and they disable that smoke detector, and I find that when I'm doing an inspection, there's a possibility that we can charge you. Okay, so just try not to alter, take the battery, or move a smoke detector, because there are certain places in the house that it has to be situated. Okay, and that's for your safety. Okay, let's talk about insurance. Okay, the owner of the property has owner's insurance. You are responsible for getting renter's insurance because, life is life and things happen. We have floods sometimes. Well, hopefully in our area you don't have floods, but sometimes toilets overflow. There's water damage. There's a possibility, God forbid, that you may have to vacate the premises. Your insurance policy, believe it or not, will pay for you and your family to be housed until the problem is fixed. Okay? If something happens like a fire, the owner of the property is covered. None of your personal belongings is. So it makes sense. Believe it or not, if you have auto insurance, renter's insurance is only a few dollars a month. I think the most I've ever seen it is an additional $12 a month. So it's really worth getting. Okay? All right. On your lease, it says no pets. And that means no pets. It doesn't mean that you can get a puppy for Christmas and everybody ignore the fact that your lease actually said no pet. So with a pet, there is a security deposit and pet rent. So you can't sit for a puppy. I can't come into the house and I see a leash and you tell me that you're dog sitting. If for any reason we see a pet, we're going to assume that you've been hiding that beautiful bundle of sunshine, okay? And you will be charged. So no pets means no pets. Okay. This one talks about near the end of your lease that it may be a sign in your yard, if you've given us proper notice that you're moving out, that it will be for rent. No one has a right to come into your premises. I don't want you to think that, but just keep that in mind. Okay. No subletting. You can't have your friends or anyone else move into one of the bedrooms and then rent it out. It's illegal. It's a no-no. No subletting. No subletting. Okay, we have to run credit and criminal for anyone that's in the unit. So if you have someone in the house that's not supposed to be there, you could violate your lease, and it's actually grounds for termination. So no subletting. Yeah, no. Okay. If you give us notice and you're saying that you're going to be out in 60 days and there's a holdover, your lease talks a little bit about what the rules are for holdover, but you're going to be continued charged rent. Okay, we ask that you, on the lease, it says we're asking for 60 days notice before you move. If you're thinking that you're moving around 60 days, or if it's a little bit longer than that, just verbally pick up the phone, or better yet, put something in writing. An email works, that you are in the process of looking for someplace else and you're going to go ahead and give your notice. Okay, text messages counts as notice, believe it or not. Okay, we consider you surrendering the premises when I get keys in my hand. You can't move out, leave the apartment empty, and then tell me I moved out 2 weeks ago. No, I get the keys in my hand. I consider you gone, so you've given possession back. Okay. Now, if you do leave, we have inspections and we walk in and there's nothing in the unit, or most of the stuff has been moved out, we're going to assume that it's been abandoned. There's going to be an abandonment letter on the door, and you have a certain amount of time to get in contact with us. So we don't consider that you've moved out and left town without letting us know. Okay. Okay. This talks a little bit about paint. In your particular case, your property was built after 1972, so we don't think that there's no lead in your unit. Thank goodness. Okay. The last thing is that if it comes down to it and you are late and you receive a late notice, you're responsible for those late fees and any court costs that come into play. The last question I want to ask is, are you a member of the military? Because with the military clause that I have in this lease, your conditions are a little bit different, and I know that sometimes military can be deployed. So are any of your family members in the military? No? Okay, well, if you were, I was about to say Thank you for your service. Did you have any questions? I think we've gone over the lease. Okay, now that we've gone over the lease and you don't have any additional questions, if you do, feel free to give me a call. Let's get this lease signed and get you moved in. Congratulations on your new unit.